Breaking news that could change your financial situation overnight. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer just stepped away from a high-stakes press conference where he officially signed the long-awaited $2,700 stimulus package into law. The announcement that's sending shockwaves through Washington and across America confirms what millions have been desperately waiting to hear. Payments will begin hitting bank accounts on April 16th, just days from now. But here's what most news outlets aren't telling you. There are specific requirements and actions needed to ensure you receive your full payment on time. Are you among those who qualify for the maximum amount? What documentation do you need to prepare before the deadline? And most importantly, what could disqualify you from receiving this desperately needed financial lifeline? With inflation still squeezing family budgets and economic uncertainty looming large, this $2,700 payment represents genuine relief for struggling households nationwide. But the window for verification is closing fast, and millions could miss out simply because they don't understand the process or haven't taken crucial steps before the system finalizes payment lists. Before I break down everything you need to know about this game-changing stimulus package, including who qualifies, how to check your status, and exactly what to do next, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss critical financial updates like this one. Your financial future might literally depend on staying informed. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm bringing you what could be the most important financial news of the year, a comprehensive breakdown of Chuck Schumer's press conference where he officially signed the $2,700 stimulus package into law. This isn't speculation or clickbait. This is happening, and payments start rolling out on April 16th. Let's dive into exactly what this means for you and your family. First, let's talk about what actually happened today. After months of contentious debate, political wrangling, and negotiations that nearly collapsed multiple times, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer held a press conference this morning to announce that the stimulus package has officially cleared its final hurdle. With his signature now on the legislation, the Treasury Department has been authorized to begin distributing $2,700 payments to qualifying Americans starting April 16th. During his remarks, Schumer emphasized the urgency of getting this financial relief into the hands of Americans who continue to face economic challenges in the current economy. This package represents our commitment to ensuring that no American is left behind as we continue our economic recovery, Schumer stated during the press conference. Beginning April 16th, eligible citizens will see direct deposits hitting their accounts, bringing much-needed relief to millions of households across the nation. So exactly who qualifies for this payment? The eligibility criteria centers primarily around income thresholds and household composition. Individual filers with adjusted gross incomes under $75,000 on their most recent tax filing will qualify for the full amount. For heads of household, the threshold increases to $112,500, and married couples filing jointly can have an income of up to $150,000 to receive the complete payment. For those with incomes above these thresholds, there's a gradual phase-out structure. The payment decreases progressively for higher earners, with no payments going to individuals earning above $80,000, heads of household above $120,000, or married couples above $160,000. This targeted approach is designed to direct funds to those who need it most while maintaining fiscal responsibility. It's important to understand that the $2,700 figure represents the base payment for qualifying families. The actual amount you receive may vary based on your specific situation, particularly regarding dependents. During the press conference, Schumer clarified that qualifying dependents will increase the household payment amount, though the exact supplemental amount varies by age category and other factors specified in the legislation. Now let's talk about the timeline and distribution method, which is where many people could potentially miss out if they're not paying attention. The official distribution begins on April 16th, but there's a critical pre-qualification process that needs to be completed by April 12th for certain recipients. This applies especially to those who haven't filed taxes recently, have changed banking information, or have experienced significant life changes like the birth of a child or a marriage since their last tax filing. For most eligible recipients who have filed their recent tax returns and have current direct deposit information on file with the IRS, the process will be automatic. You'll likely see the deposit hit your account between April 16th and April 23rd, depending on your bank's processing times. However, if your banking information has changed, or if you typically receive paper checks for tax refunds, you'll want to update your information through the official verification portal before April 12th. The Treasury Department has established a dedicated website specifically for this purpose, which I'll link in the description below. During the press conference, Treasury officials who joined Schumer explained that payments will be distributed in tranches, with direct deposits going out first, followed by paper checks for those without banking information on file. If you're in the latter category, you can expect your check to arrive by mail starting the week of April 25, though delivery times will vary by region. A key question many people have been asking is how this stimulus payment relates to previous financial assistance programs. Schumer clarified during the press conference that this payment is entirely separate from and additional to any previous pandemic-related stimulus payments. It's structured as a new initiative designed to address current economic challenges rather than as an extension of earlier programs. This is important because it means that receiving previous stimulus payments doesn't disqualify you from this one. They're completely separate programs with separate eligibility criteria. Another common concern: will this payment affect my existing benefits? The legislation has specifically structured this payment as a tax rebate, meaning it won't count as income for determining eligibility for federal benefit programs like SNAP, Medicaid, Social Security, or housing assistance. This was an intentional design to ensure that those who need multiple forms of assistance aren't penalized for receiving this payment. For those wondering about the tax implications, and this is something Schumer specifically addressed during the QA portion of the press conference, this payment is tax-free. You won't need to report it as income on your 2025 tax return, and it won't create any additional tax liability. It's effectively a no-strings-attached financial boost designed to provide immediate economic relief. Let's talk about some of the special cases and circumstances that might affect your eligibility or payment amount, as these were specifically addressed during the press conference. For parents of newborns or newly adopted children who weren't claimed on your most recent tax filing, there's a supplemental form available on the verification portal to update your dependent information. Similarly, for those who've experienced a significant income decrease since your last tax filing that would affect your eligibility, there's a process to provide updated information, though this needs to be completed before the April 12 deadline. For college students and young adults, there's been some confusion about who qualifies. Schumer clarified this point specifically, noting that if you're claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return, you won't receive a separate payment. However, your parent or guardian may receive an additional amount as part of their total payment if you meet the age and relationship requirements outlined in the legislation. Social Security recipients, disability beneficiaries, and veterans who don't typically file tax returns will generally receive their payments automatically, based on information the government already has on file from benefit distributions. However, if you have dependents who would increase your payment amount, you may need to provide additional information through the non-filers portal to ensure you receive the full amount you're entitled to. An important detail that emerged during the press conference concerns mixed-status households, where not all family members have the same citizenship or immigration status. The legislation includes provisions to ensure that U.S. citizens and eligible resident aliens receive payments regardless of the status of other household members. This represents a change from some earlier assistance programs and ensures broader coverage for qualifying individuals. For those planning how to use these funds, and Schumer touched on this, emphasizing the stimulative effect on the economy, it's worth creating a priority list now. With inflation affecting everything from groceries to housing, having a plan for these funds before they arrive can help ensure they provide maximum benefit for your specific situation, whether that's catching up on overdue bills, addressing necessary home or vehicle repairs, rebuilding depleted emergency savings, or investing in education or job training. Being intentional with this payment will help stretch its impact. I want to address some misinformation that's already begun circulating about this stimulus package. First, contrary to some social media claims, this is not a monthly recurring payment, it's a one-time stimulus payment as clearly stated during the press conference. Second, there are unfortunately already scams emerging related to this payment. Remember that official communications will never ask for payment to release your funds, and all legitimate verification will happen through secure Gov websites, not through emails, phone calls, or text messages asking for personal information. During the press conference, Schumer also outlined the broader economic package that this payment is part of. Beyond the direct payments to individuals, the legislation includes extended unemployment benefits for those still out of work, rental assistance programs, small business grants, and funding for vaccine distribution and public health measures. This comprehensive approach is designed to address both immediate financial needs and longer-term economic recovery. Critics of the package, some of whom voiced their opposition immediately following the press conference, have raised concerns about the total cost and potential inflationary impact. However, Supporters counter that targeted relief to those most in need will strengthen the economic foundation by preventing foreclosures, evictions, and business closures that could have far-reaching negative effects on the overall economy. So there you have it, a complete breakdown of Chuck Schumer's press conference and the $2,700 stimulus package that's now officially moving forward. With payments starting April 16th, this represents significant financial relief that could make a real difference in your household budget during these challenging economic times. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with friends and family who might benefit from this update. These funds are available, but people need to know they're coming and what steps they might need to take to receive them. Do you have questions about this stimulus package that I didn't address? Or plans for how you'll use these funds when they arrive? Drop a comment below, and let's discuss. And don't forget to subscribe for more timely financial updates that could directly impact your wallet.